Reset training, welcome. This is to how to override a feeling of being dismayed and potentially defeated by what seems to be the utter stupidity of the world around you. Obviously not all the world, but enough of the world to make things messy. Now, a lot of people have been obviously talking about this lately because there's a lot of mess around. It's a time for upheaval, quite evidently. And people have different versions of how to be positive. It's very hard to find true positivity when you're feeling a bit, wow, like it's all going to go really terribly wrong. But this is because we tend to project into an imaginary future rather than stay present with what is. So you'll get information such as a major geopolitical shift in the world, for example, or a socio-political shift in the world, as is happening a lot at the moment in various parts of the world. And you'll get, oh no, it's all going to go totally wrong now, and you can see the ramifications of it, and your mind will, if it's going to be something that will upset your particular status quo, you're quite likely to fixate on the negative aspects of what can go wrong. And you're probably right about most of them as well. They probably will go wrong in various forms at different times. Things do. However, that's really only seeing the negative. Now, the art of positivity is not to deny that, it's to honour that. You say, okay, I see all that. That can happen and probably will. However, firstly, whatever does happen, I know that I'll handle it well. Rather than thinking, oh, what am I going to do? I'll be no good at that. You say, no, I'm going to handle that well. Because there are times for that attitude. No, I'm going to handle that well. I will. Whatever comes up, I'll deal with it. It's really important to tell yourself that. Because there's a part of you that goes, oh, I don't know if I can really. I don't know if I will. That's fine. You honour that. But you say, no, look, I'll tell you what. I am going to deal with whatever comes up really, really well. That's important. That's the first part of being positive. The second part is saying that no matter what transpires in the world of the world, everything is subject to the play of yin and yang. In other words, anything that happens that's apparently bad will also have its apparently good side as well, even if it's not initially visible. You know, you might have to go through a phase of just looking at what looks bad before the good shows itself, but they're actually always happening simultaneously. So the next stage of being positive is to say, yes, you're not in denial, right? Yes. This looks like a complete fucking mess to me, the world around, the way people are acting, unbelievably stupid, blah, 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 blah. I can see this could have a really, really difficult, make things really difficult and so on and so forth. However, it will also make things in other areas much easier. I don't know how yet, but it must do because everything has to balance. There will be as many advantages, if not more, in this situation as there are disadvantages. So it is my choice to focus in on the advantages, even if I can't see them yet. I elect to be open to the advantages. In other words, I turn everything that happens, including this, to my advantage. And by doing that, I help other people around feel better as well, because it's not, shouldn't be, can't be just a selfish pursuit, any of this. We live with each other, don't we? So we have to account for everybody when we make our intention. And then there'll be the devil's advocate voice, which will say, yeah, but come on, things might happen that might be beyond your powers to draw advantage from. Things might get really, really, really tough. It's because, don't get all cocky here, or don't get carried away with some false positivity. And, fair point. However, you then say, well, thank you to that part of me, that devil's advocate voice. I know you're just trying to protect me. Nonetheless, despite whatever bumps and knocks I might receive along the way, which are inevitable for everybody anyway, my choice is to come out of this smiling. My choice is to come out and say, I really made the best of that, and it turned out to be amazingly beautiful rather than horrible like I thought it could be at the beginning. That is the art of being positive, and with that comes the willingness to be of service. Rather than thinking about your own personal gain, you think about the fact that you are kin with 8 billion people, a lot of which you might find totally antithetical to your picture of utopia. Nonetheless, it is your family. And with the willingness to serve, to make it better for people in any way that you can, the positive spirit is given the air that it needs to combust. Does that make sense? So by being willing to serve, by having the intention to make life beautiful for everybody, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It's just a very subtle thing to make it beautiful for everybody. That is like the air you need to get the stove going, that fire that you're wanting of positivity and things rolling your way. And remember, ultimately, it doesn't matter at all, because the whole thing's just passing show. So, you know, if you sit on one side of the airplane or the other, or you sit in the front or you sit in the back, you're going to arrive at the same destination eventually anyway. It doesn't really make any difference. So you just might as well sit back and enjoy the ride. And that's what this is all about, the true art of positivity. I thank you.